people is it can be really difficult at times, because I think you can have a very clear vision in your head of how someone needs to be helped and what will get them to their end goal, but that doesn't mean that person is ready to be helped in that way. So even though when someone moves to refuge, the expectation is, you know, they've stopped that relationship with the abusive partner, they've fled it, that doesn't mean all their feelings stop or they're able to stop contact completely in the way that our rules might say they need to. So I think it can be really challenging getting that person to the point of sort of fully separating away from the perpetrator in the abusive relationship, and often they've had more than one abusive relationship. But on the flip side of that, it's really rewarding to see the small changes in someone as they kind of you know, develop from the beginning of their time in refuge to the end. The most rewarding thing is seeing how different someone is. So often when I can think of clients I've had who they first come into refuge, they'll barely talk to you, they won't look you in the eye, they'll hide away in their room, they'll be stuttering when they talk, and you know, they can't do anything like make a phone call themselves or anything like that. And then sort of towards the end of refuge, when they've been allocated a property and they're moving on, you're sort of there being like, oh, do you need help or anything like this? And they're like, no, I've called them, I've done this, I've done that. And it's always just amazing to step back and think like, wow, 6 months ago you couldn't even make a phone call without, you know, being really distressed about it, and now you've just been able to do that yourself. So I think always those little wins are the most powerful things to me, because they're what really shows that person has kind of changed over time as well. And it's good to reflect on those throughout the person's journey, because for a lot of people the big wins are what matter, but actually it's all those little small wins that build up to being able to sort of move on like that. So I think that's kind of the joy in helping people, but there's always challenges along the way as well. I think there's definitely some clients I can think of that have said some really powerful things about how we've completely changed their lives. I think what always sticks with me is a few of them, you know, they'll say like, I wouldn't be here without you guys, and you know, they sort of mean be in this world, in this life, because they think, you know, they would have died in some form or another. And I think that's always the most powerful thing, the fact that we've been able to help someone stay in this life and have a new life. Always hits really hard and just reminds you why you do the job. And I think that's like the really powerful stuff, because we do this day to day, and sometimes you forget as you're going along, you know, how important what we do is, because you're just dealing with it all the time. But yeah, when you get feedback like that, it's really amazing and just makes me very happy.